because of you being a thug, because you're embroiled in criminal activity at 2 o'clock in the morning. And now it's at 11 o'clock in the morning. They call your mother and say, you are dead. You died by a gunshot wound. Is that what you really, really want? Is that what you really, really want? We need to think, folks. We need to think. There's an old saying, a coward lives longer than a brave man. Cowardice is something, the other day I'm driving on the chaussee and I'm hearing a little boy, that man think man is a bula man. As though to reward his bravery. To reward his bravery, a bravery that might bring him his untimely death. But no, if you take a step back, they call you all sorts of names that are associated with cowardice. But a coward lives longer. A coward lives longer. Look at what happened to Norman. Norman said, Vale, good night to you, good night to your wife. The woman lost her only child. The only child God gave her on this world. She lost the child at only 21. And I spoke to Norman this morning. Norman, how is your wife handling it? Boy, Richard, you wouldn't believe she's in tremendous pain every day. Not one day passes my wife would not remember her son, her only child. And you have two assailants. One is already in jail. The one in jail, ask yourself questions. They say you were not the main perpetrator, but why did you keep that kind of company? There is an old saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. If you know a man has such influence on you to lure you into territory of criminality, stay away. Those are not the friends you should have. Those are not the friends you should keep. I've always said, in my formative years, I lived and was exposed to drugs and all sorts of things right there in Wilton's yard. I've never smoked, not even a cigarette. If you see me puffing and playing the fool. My character was shaped long ago, and I did not let it. I did not let my character be influenced negatively by persons around me whom I know were not thinking of their future. I was. Today, I'm proud. My children are doing well. Renowned doctor. 2 of them with degrees. The last one, Richella, is now doing medicine. You believe if I was involved in any kind of activity that my life would have cut short, I could have produced or have those kinds of children being brought into society? No. Or let us say I was a thug and involved in criminality, and somebody retaliated and I was killed. How on earth could I have helped my children? 2 of you took Norman's son's life. 1 is in jail. What you doing in jail at 21 or 22? What are you doing there? Why? Why are you doing? Because you for what's his name from Grosile? Big Don or whatever they call him, whatever, or small one. I don't know his name. I don't know who. I don't know him. But why are you following those criminal elements? Why? You in jail, and now he's not at peace with himself. He's not at peace. That Grosile boy is not at peace. He cannot be at peace. Because he don't know, 1, if he will die through retaliation. 2, the police have already deemed you armed and dangerous. So where they see you, I rather suspect I know what they will do. Why you live a life like that? Just why? Why? So everywhere you go, You have to be turning around and looking around you. Just why? 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 It brings you fame. It brings you fame. We've all heard the old saying, if you live by the bullet, you must die by the bullet. You must. That's how you live. You will die the same way. You must. You know? And you, that boy from Grozile, take my stupid advice. Go and surrender yourself to the police. You better do that. Parents of that boy, you all better take him into the police. Because don't believe you are wanted for murder. Don't believe that you have already been considered armed and dangerous and that the police will treat you with kids' gloves. Don't believe so. Don't believe so. If you believe so, you are wrong. And for your sake, and to lengthen your own life, you better go surrender yourself. Because right now, everywhere you go, everywhere you turn, you have to be looking all around you because you're not sure who will pop up, whether it's a friend to retaliate or whether it's the police to arrest. You know? Why? Why? Why are you creating a life that you have boundaries? You have created boundaries for yourself. You cannot go here, cannot go there during the day. Why? Why? Look at the two thugs that killed this other guy on the square. How on earth can that be tolerated? How can that be tolerated? What is worst, you know, folks? What is worst is that when the police do what they have to do, you will hear the mothers and fathers saying, he was a good boy. So boy. Tout le yo ka fe bêtise. Maman et papa pa nan yekadi. Me le yo tiye a jouer. He's so bonhomme. He was a good boy. He was a good boy. Why are you all putting innocent people's lives at risk? You know? And I don't know, Lord forbid my daughters, one of them was walking there and a stray bullet hit them. Lord Jesus, you would have to guide me. You would have to guide me. Because I will find you all. This is nonsense. You know, I was made to understand. Even a car got damaged by bullets in the process. And the police will find you, you know. You all can change the color of the bike and do whatever you all want. The police have the intelligence and they know who you are. They will come for you. They will come for you. You all better go and surrender. They will come for you. Because if you all are taken out in the process, your father will say they were good boys. What do you think of that, Albert?
No, but Richard, this thing you speak of there, this shooting on the square, this is next level foolishness, you know. This is next level foolishness. You and I, we both come from the whole police and so on, you know, we were detectives and all of that. And what you have seen is a steady progression of violence and so on.
And brazenness.
Yeah, but to come on the square, Richard, when I look
amidst the hundreds of innocent people.
Yes, because the two places, Richard, which we would consider the gathering places of St. Lucians on a daily basis would be the Boulevard, Castries Boulevard, and the square.
And the square.
Right? These are the two places where most people you'd find most on a daily basis. And for you chaps to go there and decide that, look, we want to take this guy out or these guys out, whatever, and we're going to do it right there. It's brazenness, it's disrespect, and it's a callous disregard for the safety of others.
Indeed. Indeed.
And this cannot be tolerated.
At all. At all. You know, somebody said, Judo, darling, Myro said it was insane. Young men, the pain that you cause your parents and others, because no matter how much of a thug you are, no matter how much criminality is within the confines of your heart, there's still people who love you. There's still people who love you. And the pain you put them through is not worth it. It is not worth it. If you live by the gun, you will die by the gun. One day, that very gun you point at people will be pointing back at you. One day, just one day. Respect is something that is reciprocal. If you respect others, they find the compunction to respect you. If you show them love, they will show you love. You cannot be doing those things. Those outright brazen attacks must come back to haunt you. And at that instance, you will no longer be the victor. You will be the victim. Look at this fellow. This man went and he robbed a hotel, brazenly, man. Stole endless jewelry from the hotel. Just a few days later, he held up a lady, took at gunpoint, took her car, and left with the lady's car. And guess what? The same day, the same day he took the lady's car from her at gunpoint, he was killed by the police in that car. And then the father came crying to me, Bosla, edewe tewe ishmwe. Yes. I asked him, mwe edewe tewe misye ki pwe gon, I hold up moun, pwe tout loyo, I hold up a lot madam, vole motokai, ek police chwe, edewe tewe. No. Young men, stop. Stop. Most of you engaged in this foolishness are in your lower to mid-20s. Some of you are lucky enough to probably have children. It is so heart-wrenching, and I encounter that every day I am in my constituency office as though it's a ritual. Where young ladies come to me, I'm a single mother of 2, 3, or 4 children. Where is your children's father? He was killed in an incident. You know? They say he had shot that one and that one shoot him back. He's killed. And children are left fatherless. Children are left fatherless. Why should you put children on this earth and live a life of crime? So that when, not if, but when you meet your early demise, the children are left behind to suffer. Young men, that is not right. That is not right. And I was looking at the statistics. In 2021, we had 70 murders. 2022, we had 68. Then we had 70 again. And then we had 68 for the year. And I just got it confirmed from the police earlier on this evening. But why? Why? Exactly why? One murder is too many. Just one. Why would I take your life? I will never tell any man, if somebody comes to kill you, don't take a preemptive strike. I wouldn't say that as a lawyer. Because if you come to kill me, I will do what I have to do to ensure that my life is protected. But why should I take a gun and just go about shooting people in the middle of town brazenly amidst innocent bystanders? As though I have no conscience and the devil resides in me. So it forces me to behave like that. Why? Why? Just why, folks? Just why? You know, all of you who want to play gangster, what night was that? I don't know where I was, but I got a call. You know, 2 young boys by the CDC when they're firing shots. And I know who's behind it. I've already told the police. I know who's behind it. I know. Firing shots, giving 2 young boys guns to go and shoot. Gordon, good night to you. Gordon is a cat. He may have had 9 lives. 3 shells. Well, not shells. 3 bullets. Grazed Gordon Francis. He was on the other side of the road, so that the trajectory and the force was diminishing rapidly. So, you know, they barely just... 3 of them grazed him. God forbid had it been closer. And all through, 1 his chin and 2 his head. You know, why? And then the police have the intelligence, and they come and they out your fires. He was a good boy. He was a good boy, but those brazen incidents have to stop. You know, they have to stop. Those guys on a motorcycle passing, and you all better surrender to the police. You know, you all need to stop. You all need to stop. You all need to stop. Folks, there is something called karma. What we sow in this world is what we reap. We have young people dying all the time. Young people being killed. Young people this, young people that. But I can tell you, in 99% of the situations, it is tit for tat and retaliation. That's what it is. That's what it is. Why get involved in a life of crime? Why? I'm just asking, why? I will understand if that man have your $2 billion and you have a big stash and you want your stash. For absolutely nothing. For nonsense. For nonsense. You know? But, you know, parents, I'm not letting you all off the hook. Because the same way you all can call people like me to ask you for money to bury them when they die. Play their role. Play your role before they die. Play your role before they die. Because I can see some 6 and 7 boys going down pretty soon. I can see it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Some time ago, I had to call the father of one of those 6 and 7 boys and say to him, it is my instruction, so and so, so and so, so and so, and shots were fired. You need to stop it. You, as the father, need to stop it. You know? And I think I heard him call the boy right there whilst I was on the phone. And invariably, the boy was in denial. But he will not be in denial when he is shot back at and killed. Parents, if you love your children, put them. Put them. I ask you to put them on the right track. Yes, folks. Albert.
Yeah, Richard, I think just before we continue, there are a couple matters of sadness that we need to take care
Not
of.
we, just let's go ahead.
Yeah, so Nettie, and she's on the live. Nettie, we would like to express our condolences. Nettie's mother passed away. Now, her mother is from Denver, Nettie is also from Denver, but they live in the States, lived in the States. So our condolences from Can I Help You, Nettie? We wish you the best. And also, Richard, a giant of Beaufort.
Oh, yes.
Emmanuel Bellas passed away. Now,
Well, I actually sent condolences to him from my ministry.
yes,
my
and that's
ministry's
wonderful.
page.
Because he was a giant of Beaufort.
Yes, indeed.
You know, and it's a great sadness that Emmanuel passed. You know, an absolute gentleman and a really popular man. So our condolences to the entire family and to the entire Beaufort community.
Where did Nettie mother die? In the US?
States, yeah, in the US.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Nettie, our condolences. Okay. Now, you know, folks, yesterday was International Children's Day. So I sponsored a couple of schools, some treats for the children. I could not do all the schools. I can't do all the schools. No rep can do that. It approximates impossibility, at least financially that is. But I must say I was indeed pleased by a video sent to me by the principal of the Ave Maria Infant School. Good night to you, Mrs. Edgar. Good night to you. Andre Edgar, good night. So she sent me a video. It wasn't of the entire school. She said she put together some children to thank me for that treat. Let me share that short. Folks, tonight we have a lot to discuss. A lot. You all will love the show tonight, trust me. But let's listen to those children first, please.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick. We enjoy our treats.
You know, thank you, Mr. Frederick. We enjoy our treat. And I'll tell you, folks, it is not the magnitude of the reciprocity. So if I buy you a car or a gold chain, it is not buying me one in return. It is the little things that you do that one finds gratifying. And I'm sure Daniel Thomas can tell everybody about the little things that she does that she finds extremely rewarding. You know, and that kind of gratitude goes an extremely long way. An extremely long way. Now on Tuesday was International Men's Day. And folks, I can tell you, I know I am doing well as a minister. I know I am doing well as a minister when my staff, the people that I interact with on a daily or weekly basis, can reduce to writing their appreciation for you. I got 2 written messages from Housing and Local Government Department, and I got another one from the National Housing Corporation. Let me show you the one from Housing and Local Government. Could you put that one up, please? Good. No, not that one. The first one. Black Boy, you were not there when we were putting the thing in order. You know, let me give you all a joke about Black Boy. I love him, but he does always put... Look, he give you a sign.
He said he'll mute you.
He said he'll mute me. It says, Happy Men's Day. Happy Men's Day, Minister. You are an aspiration to us all as we are lucky to be working with you. From all of us at the Department of Housing and Local Government. That was from the Department of Housing and Local Government. These words, I must admit, were touching, and I want to thank all of them, PS and all of you, for sending me this. And I got another one from NHC, which I must admit invoked emotions in me. Could you show the other one that you just put up, please? Could you enlarge it, please? Happy International Men's Day. Could you enlarge it, please? It says, Black Boy have a thing saying, journal. Good. It says here, Dear Honorable Richard Frederick, on this International Men's Day, we recognize your hard work, dedication, and commitment to making a difference. Your leadership, passion, and integrity continue to inspire and uplift many. Thank you for being a role model and for your unwavering service. We celebrate you today and every day with admiration and gratitude. Now, folks, when your staff sends you this, Albert, it touches you.
Warms your cockles, I think.
It does. And, you know, I want to take this opportunity, and obviously this is a card. It was signed by the staff. I understood, if not all, the greater majority who were present. And I want to thank all of you from Sidonia, Rochelle, Didas, Shem, Jermaine, Remina, Cameron, Teresa, Kelly, Kenyatta, Juanita, Marcelina, and all the others. I want to say thank you. And whoever put those words together, they were well put. If they were done out of good conscience and the heart, I really do know that you all have me in good stead insofar as my ratings as a minister is concerned. And I'm sure all of you know that I have taken National Housing Corporation to a totally different level And that is a fact. From now having our own office, which is totally paid for, insured and debt-free, to now not having to pay $12,000 and $13,000 a month in rent. We have changed the whole cash flow situation at NHC. I have personally vested millions of dollars worth of land with the concurrence of my cabinet colleagues into NHC. You know, so I am sure that all the members of staff are fully aware of my contribution in making NHC the viable entity that it is now becoming, and so they understand that it cannot come without commitment and perseverance. So I want to thank all of you. I feel good that my efforts are being recognized. So folks, when you get a minister, as a minister, you get those messages from your staff. No one can question your delivery as a cabinet member. No one. Because if my staff were disappointed in me, or if they were disappointed in my performance, I don't think I would have ever been acknowledged, far less to receive those touching messages. So once again, I want to thank all of you. Now, we're going down into business, folks. We're going down into business. You know how we're going to start? We're starting off because I have not had the opportunity. Remember, I wasn't there. I know most of you all may have heard the call from Nigel Toussaint to Timothy Poleon. But you see, it is okay to hear the call. But it is something totally different to dissect the call and to go into all the ingredients of the call and of Tim's responses and to respond accordingly. So let us listen to an excerpt of Nigel Toussaint calling Timothy Poleon's program.
That Alan Shastin will not win the next general election, but let's just suppose that to the United States, where Trump, he lost the 2020 presidential election, but he came back and he won in 2024. Now, you'd have lost because of what? Decisions taken during his reign between 2016 and 2020, policies implemented, and so on. But he's re-elected.
Well, maybe so, but I'm not comparing the U.S. and St. Lucia, Timothy. You cannot even make that comparison. You can't. All you have is the policies. All you have is what has been said. All you have is the contradiction over and over and over and over again. And I, for one, cannot support that. And I won't support that. And a lot of the United Workers' Party people will not support that. Do we want the party to win? Of course, no party member wants to be in opposition. That's a fact. But we understand that the people on the ground are saying they do not want him as Prime Minister of the country, which means the United Workers' Party has to find a leader that they can stand behind, and they can't stand behind Alan. Timothy, let me tell you.
So let me ask you one final point. Hold on. Are you speaking primarily from the perspective of supporters of the United Workers' Party when you say that he cannot win?
I'm talking about the entire nation.
No, but which poll did you conduct to prove that? Because you're talking about people who are hold on. You're talking about people who are independents in St. Lucia. Independents. You're talking about people who might be supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party at one time, but now they might have a change of heart considering the performance of the government over the last 3.5 years. Are you speaking primarily of supporters of the UWP? Because I don't think what you're saying there is backed in any kind of scientific research. It's basically a gut feeling.
Have the people of his class changed their minds and have now decided that they're going to support him? He's the one who said the people of his class did not support him. Well, the people of his class were primarily the voters of the United Workers' Party that made things happen. They're the deep pockets that gave the money to the party.
I don't have the empirical evidence.
Well, you don't need empirical evidence. You live in St. Lucia, you're a journalist, you of all people should know, and you do know, and you will pretend not
I don't know. Don't claim to know what I know, Gordon.
One thing out. Anyway, I'm not arguing with you. I'm here to make a point. Let me point something out to you. In the last 4 years, since 3.5 years since the election, how many people have decided to follow Alan? Every time Alan has a march, it's the same number. His numbers have not improved at all. And if your numbers are not improving, that ought to tell you something. The numbers have not been, they have not improved. The last meeting on the boulevard was the same number of people. Take the screenshots, you can literally count them head by head. It's the same number. There has been no increase in the numbers that follow him.
Okay.
So basically you're telling me you want the United First Party to lose the next general election. It's not going to happen. Alan's policies are detrimental. Alan's ability to strategize is detrimental. What Alan says you can never count on because it changes depending on which way the wind blows. He'll say A today, he'll say B tomorrow, he'll come back on the same issue, he'll say A the next day, then he'll say he never said A, he said D. Come on now, where we going with this?
Okay, caller. Thank you so much. We have to move on. We're due for a commercial break. Somebody, well, I could identify.
You know, folks, before, Tandy Flood, good night to you. Shamin Caesar, special good night. Your birthday is on Saturday. You know, I'm traveling tomorrow, Shamin, so, you know, sadly I'll miss your birthday. Francis Robb, good night to you. Sebastian Charles, Peter the Great over in Canada, good night to you. Owen Alcindor in New York, Paige is in New York. My sisters, Frances, Sophia, in New York, Bia in New York, good night, good night, good night. So you heard this, folks. Now, you heard TP asking for empirical data and evidence.
What poll did you conduct?
What poll did you conduct? Timothy Polio, let's talk. Because I told you I'll be dissecting that call. I told you so. When I called you about Bradley, and I'm coming back to Bradley in a bit, I told you I'll be talking about that specific call. You are asking Nigel, what empirical evidence does she have? What data, what poll did she conduct, in essence to show that Shasti is unpopular and will not win? I'm just paraphrasing.
How did she arrive at that conclusion?
You're asking her, how did she arrive at that conclusion?
Yes.
You know? And she asked you to go on the ground. Now, Tim, granted she made the statement based on the dismal turnouts Shasti always has when you compare that to the turnouts of SLP, even in opposition.
And that's empirical.
That is empirical because it is visual.
Yes.
It is visual.
Yes.
Even in opposition, after 1 year, the Labour Party was able to pull out 10,000 people after 1 year
Of Shasti's government.
of Shasti's governance. So what more do you need? You know, so she's telling you that even Coco from his great beyond can see the dismal performance or performances insofar as attendance at UWP events are concerned.
But they had threatened a march, hadn't they? And then they changed it to...
They say yellow, we're orange. I know, but you know already. So it is only a fool would not want to believe that Shasta is unpopular. Now, you claim that Trump won, and so Shasta can win because, hey, you know, you are asking Nigel what evidence you have of Shasta's unpopularity. What empirical evidence, where is the data to show me Shasta will not win? But in the same breath, Timothy Polio, hear me well, in the same breath, you are saying he might win because of the state of things are in St. Lucia.
And the dismal performance.
And the dismal performance of... So I'm asking you now, what empirical evidence, because I will put the empirical evidence to you. What empirical evidence do you have to say that the government is performing dismally? What empirical evidence, what poll did you conduct to prove that the country is in a mess? Folks, the reality is St. Lucia is on a high. St. Lucia is on a high, and that's a fact. That is a fact that St. Lucia is on a high. And Timothy Polio, you cannot deny that. You cannot deny that St. Lucia is on a high. St. Lucia has taken off. St. Jude is soon to finish. Out of 4 prime ministers, irrespective of them not being on the same side of the political arena, 3 of them agreed to continue in St. Jude. Apart from who? The cheese. St. Jude is soon to finish. The Northern Police Headquarters, which was drawn and plans were approved from time immemorial, which was supposed to have been built during the 2016-2021 administration, and which Shastesh held, is now nearing completion. Custody Suites, which Shastesh demolished, is now nearing completion. We have the lowest unemployment, and all what I'm telling you are facts. Ask me for empirical evidence. We have the lowest unemployment rate on record. Lowest. We have now introduced the minimum wage that impacts at least 20,000 people. And when you have an impact of 20,000 people, the multiplier effect would bring that to about 30 to 40,000 families. What are you talking about? Things in a mess? We have had 3 years of consecutive growth of minimum 3.4%. 3 consecutive years of growth of over 3.4%. That had never happened since 1992 for the last 32 years. 32 years. Why did we have growth at that time? Because our bananas, our main foreign exchange earner, was receiving protection on the European market until Chiquita and Clinton and them came in, and we lost the protection.
Del Monte,
you know? 3 years consecutive growth. Philip J. Spears' lowest growth rate in those 3 years is Shaste's highest in 5 years. Our economy is projected to grow next year, this year, ending March 31st, by 7.5%. And the following year by 4%. Pensioners got an increase in the pension, in addition to getting one-off payments at Christmas. Our lowest paid pensioner in the history of this country now receives $500 from about $100 and something some of them were getting. No pensioner gets less than $500 now. You know, we have record-breaking arrivals. Put up that script for me. Record-breaking arrivals of tourists in 2024. Highest arrivals ever. Highest arrivals ever.
Don't forget the million.
On Saturday, you can take it down. On Saturday, we had 2 inaugural cruise ship calls in Soufrière. Play that clip for me, please. 2 inaugural cruise ship ports in Soufrière. What you say?
On Saturday, the Soufrière Regional Development Foundation, SRDF, was pleased to welcome Ilma and Philadelphia Odyssey for their inaugural calls to Port Soufrière. Ilma's inaugural call was commemorated with a traditional plaque exchange ceremony aboard the vessel. Captain Magnus Bengtsson of the Ilma expressed his admiration for Soufrière's charm and his excitement to be in this part of the world.
It is my pleasure, and on behalf of Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, to be here in St. Lucia today, and I thank you all for giving us such a pleasant and calm weather for our first call here.
The Corporate Communications and Marketing Manager at the SRDF, Mrs. Lovely St. Amy Joseph, says the SRDF will continue to collaborate with tourism stakeholders to ensure that Soufriere remains a port of choice.
So on behalf of the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, I would like to welcome you to Soufriere.
Thank you.
We are the jewel in St. Lucia's crown. It's a town of breathtaking beauty, culture, history. Our people are very warm and inviting, so we have no doubt that you will certainly enjoy the experience in Port Soufriere.
The Member of Parliament for Soufriere-Foncé-Jacques, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, underscored the significance of these visits for Soufriere's ongoing development as a leading tourism destination.
I'm excited, and even when I walked in, the taxi drivers are saying bagay bon. So it is saying that they are happy, we are happy. It is extremely important for us to welcome new vessels into the port, and the information we've had is about 60, we expect about 60 boats in the Soufriere Harbour. Very excited. I believe that every area will benefit.
These inaugural
some of the things. Then we go down into the Hall of Justice. Huh? We go into the Hall of Justice that has already commenced. I also indicated that pensioners' pension are now tied to any salary increase by the civil servants or to the civil servants will go to pensioners. I'm sure you saw the notice that the West Coast Road is actively being redone. Government has installed several, in fact hundreds of CCTV cameras in public spaces. Laptops are back in the schools. No pamadeki laptops. Housing repair program for the poor and vulnerable. A program that never existed in this country. Never before did tenants of CDC or this or that renting from government ever receive rent reprieve for outstanding monies. You know, Philip Jepier took the economy from the worst in the OECS and it's now the best. I could go on and on and on and on, Timothy Poulier, and you're asking her what empirical evidence she has of Shasta's own popularity. The evidence is clear, but in the same breath, you saying the country is doing badly. A country is doing badly, and all of those things I point out to you are factual. Well, the country should be doing super badly. We'll multiply that by 10. I cannot understand how you can juxtapose a bad economy to all of those grandiose exercises, projects, the youth economy, the small to medium, millions of dollars paid to youth to enter into their own businesses. Medium businesses are given support. The economy is badly. Timothy Poulier, I know you can't spell bad. Now I'm just being facetious here. I know you can't spell bad because you're bad. You know, you're bad. You would have to give me empirical evidence of the country is doing badly. Because I'll tell you what it is.
Bradley?
What's that?
Bradley.
How you mean?
The country's doing Bradley?
Oh, the country's doing Bradley? You know, because all of what you're saying is pure conjecture and it's your opinion.
Empty rhetoric. It's just empty rhetoric. Just the talking point. Seem to be all of them are saying it's the talking point. Just empty rhetoric.
You know, every day. Oh, how bad the country is. How bad.
You didn't even mention your Minister of Agriculture. I'm told his farmers are very pleased with him.
The farmers are pleased.
Yeah.
After this thing there, millions of dollars paid to farmers. We have, you know, a set of animals that I don't know where he get them from. Fertilizers, water tanks.
Yeah, water tanks and all
you
that.
Know, the country is doing badly, Timothy Poulier. Oh my God. If that is our country doing badly, well, m'avle sansi gave bien. Because si country a fait autant mauvais, mais tout c'est bail ça, et mais plead. Si le fait mauvais, well, ah oui. But yeah. You know, but I've always said, folks, that facts don't lie. Facts cannot be refuted. Facts can be substantiated and proven. The statistics are there. When the governor of the OECS, of the central bank came, ECCB came, you all tried to grill him as though he was working for the St. Lucia Labour Party. But the man is telling you that the picture St. Lucia has painted as far as economic performance is concerned is second to none. We are doing the best in the OECS. We have the largest economy in the OECS. We are on the right trajectory. And I can say without fear of contradiction, at the end of 5 years, we will take Shasley's statistics and we will take Philip JPS statistics. We'll compare them and you all will realize it's chalk and cheese. Don't you agree, Albert?
Of course. Richard, let me just right quick mention Miss Cess. I'm sure you know Miss Cess in Denry.
Yes, I do.
Yes, 100 years last week. They had a wonderful party on Saturday, I understood, but I couldn't attend. But I bounced around by their home right quick on my way back from South, kissed Miss Cess and so on, and wished her, many more. So that was lovely. Bidiana Elna, good night. That's all my Flubbo people, my wonderful Flubbo. Hazel and Georgiana, Jennifer, Shelly and Laffy, good night. Val, good night. Anne, without Anne Mohammed in Winnipeg, I see you on the live, good night. Travis Chico, good night, I see you out there as well. And Annette Noel, good night. But Richard, coming back to...
Yeah, well, let me just say, so you say all your Flubbo friends.
Yeah.
So Elna and Hamada and Bidiana, they're all Flubbos?
Of course they're all Flubbos.
Elna!
These are lovely Flubbo people.
Mother Saudi, All right. Goodbye, boy. You're the more for salad. Me batu bati, woi. You can't batu to you. You're the more just pet. I said, let's say, maybe no one says you say, Naivini, you say you say. You're saying about.
Yes. Richard, coming back to all of what these people are saying, when in fact, did I say good night to my daughter, Diamond?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Good night, Diamond. You're quite likely watching Selish Momende Kavi program where the others must be ashamed of their father. But Richard, these are the talking points that the Flubbo have, And for me, Timothy looks so petty and disingenuous when he says that. Because if you, as a senior person in the media, and he is that, a senior person in the media, and you wish to, and Timothy tries this nonsense about he's neutral and he's that. Come on, Timothy, leave that alone.
Yeah, he's neutral.
Leave that alone. I mean, look, Albert Frederick sits here, and I make no bones about who I am, what I am, and what I'm doing. You understand? But Timothy's still trying this nonsense about being neutral. And leave that alone, Timothy. We all know who you are and what you're doing. But do it properly. Don't be disingenuous with, the country over the past 3 years has dismal performances. Okay, Timothy, come and say dismal performance, because as a matter of fact, I have here, I'm just trying to show you, Timothy, how to do it. The country has been performing dismally because what I have here are the statistics concerning so and so, and they are lower this year than they were last year.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, Timothy.
Like I just did. That's how you do it. You don't just say with your highly opinionated character, the country is doing dismally and blah, blah. That's not how it's done. Yeah. That's not how it's done.
Yes.
But let me say this. Timothy Polio took umbrage to the utterances of Nigel Toussey. Mm-hmm. Okay? But one thing she said, Timothy cannot deny. She said that Shasley lies a lot. She said he says something now, and at 3 o'clock in the morning he says something, at 4 o'clock he says something totally different, depending on who the audience is, and blah, 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 blah. Clitus Peter, pass ID. Because Shasley is a renowned liar. It's a fact. And what I did, folks, I didn't have a thing with a lot of lies, but I just put two together before I get into the 2,000 pound a night lie again. You all remember when Shasley said at the Summit of the Americans meeting that basically transparency can be too onerous and blah, blah, blah. When Alva said it in the house, he said he never said that. Hey, Musa, you on? Good night, Musa. Good night, Gibo. All right. Yeah, brother Musa. We batting, man. We batting. Oh, my God, we have to go for a break. When we come back, folks, we are just getting heated.
You're watching MBC.
The winning numbers for the evening draw of Thursday, 21st November 2024 were tic-tac-toe 1, 5, 6, 12, 13, 18, 20. Big 4, 6, 4, 1, 5. Big 4 multi-X, 2X. Pick 2, 2, 7. Pick 2 multi-X, 5X. 1 off, 4, 8, 9. Lucky 3, 7, 1, 0. Lucky 3 multi-X, 3X.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City C opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Yes. the best a man can get.
Looking for certified specialists in motor vehicle inspections and evaluations? Check us at K&M Garage, located in Massad, Grosley. We also specialize in motor vehicle damage assessment reports, bodywork, part replacement, and ordering of motor vehicle parts for all vehicles. For more information, call 452-6596, 716-1333, or 716-0767.
My name is Martina. I would like to say thank you to the guys from Paddy Access, especially Jermaine, for a job well done. I called him 2 days before my brother's funeral to do a live video, and I was not disappointed. He was professional and kept in touch with me throughout the live, just making sure I was satisfied with everything. I would definitely use Paddy Access again, and I highly recommend that anyone looking to do a live video to hire them. Everyone who watched my brother's funeral had good things to say about how much of a good job the videographer did. If you want satisfaction for your money, Paddy Access is the way to go.
Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. Let me say good night to a couple of people very quickly. Simplicity, good night to you, my brother. Good night to Diane of Talvin. Good night to you. Good night. The yam was good, and so were the oranges and everything else. The bee leaf. Daniel just told me the bee leaf. So thank you very much. Peter Rennie over in Canada. Good night to you. Miguel Fevrier said the truth doesn't matter to. What did he say? The truth does not matter to UWPs, what they want to hear. MacArthur, my brother. What's up, my brother from another mother. MacArthur, good night, my bro. Tekla, good night to you. Anya, your daughter, special good night. What were you saying, Albert?
Oh yeah, let me just shout out one or two people right quick, Richard.
Quickly.
Yeah, Von Charles, good night, my brother.
Yeah, good night, Von.
Yes, Harold Dalsa, out there is a friend, great man. You know, we'll also say Laura Peter, good night. Justina Wells.
Which Laura Peter is that?
Laura Peter is in the States.
Oh, okay.
So that's my cousin.
Oh, I thought it was Laura Japierre you were calling there. So is there anything wrong in calling Laura Japierre?
Nothing wrong. No, nothing. But she might not hear us because I think she's doing her program tonight.
Oh, okay.
You know, but Terence Fenelon, good night. Joanna Charles Marcelin, Soufré, Eric Celestin, Bossuet, condolences to you. Your father passed away a few weeks ago. Yes, Peter Erme, good night. Rasways on Indian Ring. Patrick George, Mark Charlemagne, Zeller. These guys are in the States. These are my classmates. I understood from Nicholas Faisal, good night. I'm Nick. Maui Siso.
We.
Yes.
He's back.
Yes. Nick. Nick. I have a special love for Nick. I'll tell you that, Richard. I have a special love for Nick.
I hope you're not venturing into the realms of.
Not at all. I wouldn't want to. I would not want to take
transgender issues.
I wouldn't want to take Nick away from your sister. I wouldn't do that. But all of these chaps are.
Still, implicitly, Albert is calling Nick. Okay, something else.
You want Bertil to call you then and straighten you out tonight?
Oh, sis, don't do that. I know I'll be calling Alan Chasney a liar just now. She's like, don't use that word on TV. I want you already.
Yes. So good night, all my brothers there.
All right.
Yes.
Alex.
Cletus Toby as well. Good night.
Alex Customs, good night. Jackie and Miss Sidoni, good night to you. Good night to Sisis. Good night. Chatal Grosley, a special good night. So yes.
Is this Sisis the market vendor?
Sisis the market vendor.
That's my girl.
All my girls are your girls. Just go. So yes, folks. One of the things Timothy Polio could not take Nigel Toussaint to task for is the fact that he's a liar. You know, and he lies a lot. And I was telling you, Merlin Samuel Boswell, you all remember about that transparency bit? When Alva said it in the House, he even asked the Speaker to ask Alva to withdraw it because it was untrue. It was untrue. You all remember that? Let me remind you. Remind them for me, please.
So, Mr. Speaker, when St. Lucia has a government such as this, United Workers' Party, that destroys millions of dollars in assistance from sympathetic countries that are trying to assist us in charting the true and real development of our country, we are destroying our country's reputation. Further, it does not create an improved framework for us to attract foreign assistance when the Prime Minister makes shamefully irresponsible statements in the international community to the effect that they're focusing too much on fighting corruption. And if I'm wrong, the Prime Minister can correct me. A source quoted him as saying at the last OAS summit, and I quote, and the Prime Minister is free to emerge on a point of order if that's not true. But he said transparency should not be onerous, that it takes precedence over development, unquote.
So, Mr. Speaker, he invited me. I never made such statement. I have not been to any OAS summit meetings.
For those external partners who want to help us, we ask that you coordinate your programs in tandem with government's determined needs and assist in such ways that builds partnerships and does not impose a particular set of government's mechanisms. We ask you recognize that transparency should not be so onerous that it takes precedence over development.
He said transparency should not be onerous, that it takes precedence over development, unquote.
Mr. Speaker, he invited me. I never made such statement.
We ask you recognize that transparency should not be so onerous that it takes precedence over development.
Y'all are hearing this, folks? So, Shasta denies. Divine Deterville, happy birthday to you. Sorry. Roots in Rockall, good night to you. Your daughter asked me to say good night to you, and she asked me to say good night to her son Cleveland and her daughter Delia. Y'all are hearing this, folks? Shasta denies he ever said that. And then the clip is played where he actually said it. So Timothy Polio could have taken Nigel to task, but he could have never taken her to task about the frequency with which Shasta lies. And folks, only a couple Tuesdays ago, when I said in the House that he signed an agreement with T.O.R. King, granting him permission to open an escrow account overseas, he went as far as asking me to withdraw the statement. To withdraw the statement. I was quickly able to access the agreement on my phone, and I read the contents in the House that supported what I was saying. Because in the House it said the agreement is not binding, there is no agreement that's binding. But previously they had said it was binding. Let me remind you, because I just want you all to establish in your minds, even Flabo supporters, he lies and lies and lies. He just lies too much. Take a listen. You heard one lie. Take a listen to another lie.
The case of DSH, and this is what I was trying to explain to everyone, the framework agreement is binding.
It is not a binding agreement. This is what they requested, and it's subject to approvals on both sides.
Mr. Chasney, oh, one on Mr. Chasney. Last month, Mr. Chasney.
So you're saying that it is not binding, but
No, sir. I said it's binding.
The agreement the member refers to, and I kept on saying this, is not a binding agreement.
Last month, Mr. Chasney.
Also, we agreed what the definition of the framework agreement is. The framework agreement is a binding agreement. We have signed an agreement. A framework agreement is binding.
In there, the agreement signed by those two gentlemen, the member for Miku South and the member for Sozel Saltibus, it gave the developer the authority to open an account overseas in his name, and when the project is completed, the balance of the funds in that account belongs to him.
Member for Miko South. Mr. Speaker, the agreement the member refers to, and I kept on saying this, is not a binding agreement.
No, sir. I said it's binding.
Last month, Mr. Chasney.
How can you trust this man as a leader? How can you trust him as a leader? Ikadu jodia se lundi. So when he plita denedita ko ikadu jodia se mardi. Then when he olod idu ipaheme du jodia se lundi. The man is a compulsive liar. Now, remember when he said that on Timothy Polio show again, about the 2,000 pounds a night in a hotel room. He said that the Prime Minister, he has asked the Prime Minister to produce a bill, and the Prime Minister cannot produce the bill. You know, let me remind you of what he said before I produced the bill, which was at the High Commission in London, because our taxpayers paid for it. Let me remind him of what he said about a week or 2 weeks ago. Play this one for me.
Mr. Leader of the Opposition, there is an allegation that has been leveled at you for some time now, and I don't think I am not sure you ever give an explanation to that allegation. That is, you traveled to the UK and you spent about £2,000 a night in that hotel. And I think for about a whole week or something like that. Is it true? Have you ever really given explanation on that?
Okay, caller, thanks. I've never really had to give an explanation on that because the Prime Minister has only made the allegation. And I've continuously said to the Prime Minister, if he thinks that that's actually true, and there are facts to put it out. And he cannot. Why? Because there's an absolute explanation of what took place there. Is my family joined me, I got a bigger room, and I paid the difference. Okay, so you get an allocation that you can spend per night on a room. I deducted that, I paid the difference. So that's why he can't provide anything. Okay, and it was not for 7 nights. So, you know, I want us to start really getting to the point where the government needs to provide the evidence of some of the allegations.
This is just shameful, man.
You know how the man say he has asked the Prime Minister to produce the evidence and he can't produce it because it's not true? I'll produce it, Shastay. Give me a minute. But I've found this, Imati.
But Richard, listen, this man just lies and he lies and he lies according to wind direction.
That's what Nigel said.
Yes, but it's according to wind direction, this man lies. He lies in the moment. Anything that he figures is going to give him an advantage. He just says it.
But Albert.
Of course, you always said that the truth is what you believe.
Exactly. You must safeguard yourself, and the man must be safeguarded by his utterances that the truth is what he believes it to be.
Yeah.
So in his mind that may be extremely clustered, so many lies he have told that anyone he picks out is symbolic.
But the man has a serious character flaw, and how people can actually. But then again, look at the whole America.
Why? So Shastay said the Prime Minister has been saying so, and he cannot prove it because it is not true. And his family joined him and he paid the difference. Shastay, stop lying. You know they are and you are saying you ask him to put it out. I'll put it out again. I'll put it out again. Everybody knows you're a categorical liar. I just played 2 clips there that shows undeniably that uso mate. That's who you are.
He lies compulsively.
Compulsively. Lying resides in your character.
He can't help
it
himself.
lies in the engine of your character. Uso mate. If you are a motor car, your engine is machos. You know. Now, I will show the hotel bill again. But before I show it, Shasti, you need to stop lying. If they join you from day one. You took a bigger room. You took a larger room, Shasti. You took one room, so you had your whole family as prime minister in one room. Huh? Ouvle setli siye kwe. That come premier ministre. Uni ou madame ou issue a même chamla. Mama. Whoa. Shasne un chewi. Boy. So I'm going to show the bill again. It will show that there was one room. It will show that your name was listed as the occupant of the room. It will show that St. Lucia High Commission is the company's name. Most times they put that there as to who will foot the bill. Okay? And it is in the name of St. Lucia High Commission. And there is no difference that was paid. The whole bill was paid by the St. Lucia High Commission, and the room with VAT cost £2,154 per night. Put up the bill for me, please. The first page. Good. No, scroll. Let's see the name up first. Down. Invoice. Guest name. Alan Shasney.
That's Hamia, right?
Yeah, Hamia, yes. Guest name. Alan Shasney. Company name. You see the company name, Albert?
I can't see.
The High Commission of St. Lucia.
Yeah, High Commission.
Aye. Room number 8. Okay? Now, look at the room. Scroll up now. Scroll up. Let's just show a night. Scroll up for me, please. Accommodation. £1,795. VAT. £359. Amounting to £2,154 per night. Per night. You know, and show the total for 6 nights. The only truth that Shaste said there, it wasn't 7 nights, but it was 6. For 6 nights, $13,457.86. At the time, the pound was a little more than $4. So if you take it at its lowest at $4, for 6 nights, Alan spent $52,000 in a hotel.
There are people who are employed.
$52,000 for 6 nights at a hotel.
There are people who are employed within
Can you believe
a
me?
government agency and don't get that amount of money for a year.
But there are people who 4 years salary at $1,002. Your salary for the year is what? 12 by 12.
144.
144. So that's 14,000 a year. That's 3 years, 4 years salary for some people.
Yes. Yeah.
You spend it at a hotel for 6 nights.
You have no conscience.
You don't have a conscience, Shasney, man.
Sucking the blood of the country.
You know, and open your mouth and say that you paid the difference, man.
Lying about it as well.
You liar.
You know, and when I look at Richard,
same way, hold on, Albert. Mate has no conscience when it comes to our money. Mate was leaving the government vehicle when he starts it at his home.
At his home, yeah, on all day.
It's on all day.
It goes back off when it gets back home.
When it gets back home, why you don't leave your vehicle now the same way? Because government was footing the bill.
Yes.
You abusive man.
He's very abusive.
Abusive man.
And when I contrast him, Richard, to Dr. Kenny Anthony, who used to stay at the Holiday Inn.
You know, Kenny was a different.
He used to stay at the Holiday Inn.
$52,000 for 6 nights, Albert.
Yeah.
Man. You know,
Nonsense, man.
You know, leaving your vehicle on from the time it leaves your home to the time you get back home. And then when they ask him, why are you doing this, Prime Minister? He has a skin condition. What happened to the skin condition now? Papa Mate. What happened to the skin condition? You know, boy Shasney, you have a lot to pay for. You have a lot because you could not be using. People are hungry in this country. The pensioners were begging for an increase. Laptops children needed. Everybody needed a blight. You stopped all programs that benefited our targeted and the poor and destitute. And that's the kind of lavish lifestyle you were living on the proceeds of taxpayers' money, man.
Richard, talking about the vehicle, you've got high-end vehicles, right?
Yes, all my vehicles.
So the vehicle that he was driving was high-end, right?
Yes.
He wasn't driving, but
he was being driven there.
Yeah. You cannot tell your chauffeur, listen, I'll be going out in 10 minutes. 10
minutes, stood on the vehicle.
You can't do that. It has to be on all day.
All day. All day. And people make excuses for you, Shasney, man. People you will see Philip Joseph Pierre, that man that came from Marshall, ever abuse our people like that. You'll never see that. And people want to follow me. Huh? People want to follow Mitt. People want to follow Mitt and say Mitt should be Prime Minister again, man.
Again.
You know?
It's like we didn't have enough last time. We didn't get enough licks.
Philip JP, I read a suspect. You need to have a skin condition to leave your AC on. 13,457 pounds for 6 nights. And say you paid the difference. Papa Mate. The bill was paid by the High Commission of St. Lucia, which is money given to them by the taxpayers.
Coming out with this silly lie about you paid difference.
You paid the difference, and you took a larger room.
Come on, man.
You know?
You
took a larger room.
How people can actually follow this man and want this man to be Prime Minister of this country again?
You know? You know?
Anyways.
The man is just a compulsive liar. Now, you know, the thing is trailing Shasney are all his zealers, in terms of lying. Trailing Shasney are all his zealers. Safraz, good night to you, my brother. Good night, Safraz.
They would find favor in him must be similar to him.
Exactly, and we'll come to that with Prudent talking about you must be like him and blah, blah, blah. You know, Guy Joseph, when after the person called, Guy Joseph will call Timothy Polier, just like he did after I called and I demarty Bradley, another liar. He will say that Nigel Toussey, he doesn't know who Nigel Toussey is. She must be a labor hack. Nigel Toussey is, unless she was recently fired by Shasney, unless she was, Emran, you know, Shasney does fire people. Spider say he fire me. Whoa. Unless Nigel Toussey was recently fired by Shasney, she is still a card-bearing member of the United Workers' Party. Folks, you all know how I operate. I will not only tell you, I will show you. In 2021, she contested the elections on a UWP ticket for Castries North, vying for the Castries North seat in December, that is, of 2001. She ran against 2001. She ran against and was beaten by Ignatius Jean. Ignatius Jean, good night to you. Alison Jean, good night. I'll talk about you in a bit. And the award. Ignatius Jean contested the elections for the St. Lucia Labour Party. Put up that thing for me. You know, I like to show stuff. Look at this. That was the 2001, December 3rd, 2001. Let's just go Mario Michel. All right, Spider the loser. Let's go up. I'm not interested in any of those, but it makes for interesting memory. Hey, Gaza and you, come on, I'm Jacinta and you sleep. Okay, Ignatius, just stop. Go higher up again. Good. Nigel Tousse at the bottom of your screen, folks. Ignatius Jean, December 3rd, 2001. Nigel Tousse got 1,436 votes. Ignatius Jean got 1,841 and won the seat. But today, Guy Joseph will say he does not know who Nigel Tousse is. That is what those people are made of. The engines say machines to sell, you know. But what I can tell you, Guy lies a lot, so you didn't know about Nigel Tousse. But I'm sure up to now, you know, those are the excuses you all come up with. Bradley come and talk his rubbish, you come up with excuses. Then the woman who's a Cadbury member of the United Workers' Party is saying, you all need to do better. You come up with excuses. But do you have any excuse for the missing materials? Albert, you know anything about that?
Well, look, Richard, this is something that annoys me no end. Richard, let me take you back a bit.
Yes.
You were a detective in CID.
Yes.
You have sworn to your fair share of search warrants.
Yes.
Richard, when you swear to a search warrant, tell me what happens next?
No, you swear that the information contained in the warrant is thing to the best of your ability.
Yes.
When it's signed, you take your fellow colleagues
and you go because you believe and you've sworn to the magistrate that you believe that you will find articles
containing the warrant.
Yes.
Yes.
Which will afford
evidence in the matter.
Of a crime.
Of a crime, yes.
And when you get there, and you find those materials.
You arrest the individual. If it constitutes a crime, you take the evidence to the exhibit room.
Yes, but that is in your name.
In your name?
Yes.
Yes,
You're the custodian.
Yes.
Right, you're the custodian. But
you have to be because the warrant is in your name.
In your name.
Yes.
And so that goes into the exhibit room or wherever it sits.
Richard Frederick, detective number so and so.
Right.
Yes.
So who can charge that?
Yes.
So Richard, how is it?
Carlton said Nigel got a lot of votes. Yes.
She got a lot. I noted that, you know. She got a lot of votes.
1,400.
Yes. She got a lot of votes.
Yes.
I noted that.
Yeah.
Richard, how is it that a minister of government can use a police officer, use that poor female police officer, have her go before a magistrate to do just what we described, swear on oath that she has the belief that there will be found at certain locations items which will
the commission of a criminal offense.
Yes. And next thing, it is a minister of government, Guy Joseph, leading
and taking possession of.
Yes. And taking possession of those materials, right? And where are those materials now?
Papa de Manchester Albert.
Vous êtes Timothy Polio, do not interview me on my program.
TP, not be that bad you. Albert that say you tell me that.
No, Timothy doing too much nonsense.
He does nonsense.
He's doing too much nonsense.
And then he tells you he's operating in the name of objectivity.
Objectivity. But anyway, Richard, where are those materials? Where I'm not interviewing you on your program, right? Where are those materials?
But I think you need to accost Guy Joseph and put the questions to him.
But Richard, it's not for me to do that, you know. My police, huh?
But you know, in the police officer in whose name that warrant was signed.
Poor woman.
Yes.
Poor woman. Because I can see a world of difficulty ahead of her.
Yes.
You know, I can see a world of difficulty. Because, Richard, I'm not going to give up on that, you know. Guy Joseph must be made to pay for that. He must be made to pay. If we are a country where we just come and we beat our mouths, right? We talk about this, we talk about that, and nothing happens. Well, it's a best man just I'll just go somewhere where I have no voice, I say nothing.
Pack up and live.
Yeah, pack up and live. And I say nothing whatsoever in the people's country, right? But here is my country. And this cannot be tolerated, right? This is nonsense. Government property just disappears. You use police officers. Can you imagine that you use police officers? Guy Joseph, you know, abuse of your authority. Because in any event, nobody could have ever done that with me. I would have been a constable of police. Nobody could have ever done that with me. Right? But poor policewoman, hey.
Yeah, get a warrant in her name.
Yeah, go and get a warrant in her name. You know, go to the people. And Guy knew very well there was no crime there.
Yes.
He knew very well because Those things were sequestered there for their own protection.
But Albert, what is more is that there were contractual arrangements existing between government and the custodians. There is one instance that government owes, what's his name again? Thomas Eugene.
Yes.
Over $400,000. Taking up all his commercial space for years. Owe the man over $400,000. So it is not something that was done surreptitiously. It was not something that was done abatab. There are contractual arrangements governing the custody of the materials by those people.
Many police do for as if he's a criminal.
Yes.
As if Thomas Eugene is a criminal. You taking police to his place. And I fouille Prasley. You know, and you have, what's his little minion here there with the truck?
Terence Valse.
With the truck. And mete se bagay la about truck la and take them to places unknown to the very police.
Exactly. The very police in whose name the
warrant was given. You know, you ever heard it? I mean, you can't write the script for that, you know. This is nonsense that just happens in a la land. Anyway.
Look at those guys we had in government, you know.
Yeah?
Look at the government. Look at how a government used to run, you know, man.
And in the meantime, you know, I do not like really to be. Who was the commissioner at the time? Anyway, leave it alone.
I can't recall.
Leave it alone. Leave that alone.
You know?
Leave that alone. Because me as commissioner, you're not doing that nonsense in my police office, my brother. Anyways, moving along.
Yeah. You know, but again, folks, those guys have no shame. You are hot. None at all. You know, and earlier on I mentioned Bradley. Bradley Felix called Timothy Polioshu. Lied through his teeth. Lied through his teeth. And then Guy Joseph will call and raise all sorts of defenses to him. The last time I spoke to Bradley one-on-one about his NHAP, National Housing Assistance Program, he asked me not to put up the people's names on TV. And in the interest of not embarrassing the people, not necessarily Bradley, because I could embarrass him. But Mavle Omundi, that yo pate mande matuyo, eklani no yo, koyo hen $6 million, ebe $6 million matuyo. Mwesa me yele TV. Bradley knows me better than that. He knows me better than that. I could put up the names. I could put up one, the first letter. The first letter where Philip J. Pierre, thanks to his benevolence. But you know, you would not have had a word if Philip J. Pierre was like Chasney, because you would not get anything had Philip J. Pierre been Chasney. But he's not like that. He's not cut from that cloth. He's a man of conscience. He's a man of benevolence. He's a man of compassion. So he will not behave like that man, Chasney. You know, you ask me, I tell you, Bradley, you have overspent your amount. I told you so. I told you if you accuse me again, I will put up the names of the people and the invoices. You asked me not to do it. You will call. You never tell people that before you got the second 100,000, you had already received 60,000. You never said that. You allocated a total of 160,000, but you spent 175,000, and you still expect more. You still expect more. And, you know, Bradley, I don't think you think, you know. I don't think you think. Bradley will openly say on TV and on radio, and Timothy admitted that although he was allocated X amount, which was 160, he openly admitted that he sent invoices in excess of what he was allocated. So you believe $1, may papier to buy $25. And he admits it. Now, when you check how corrupt that last government was, and you have a minister in 2017, it was the year of the worst corruption ever in this country under Alan Chasney. And with that kind of corruption that was thriving, for a minister within their ranks to openly admit that he sent invoices in excess of his allocations, he tried a thing. It tells you the kind of cabal the guys were running between 2016 and 2021. Où ça Philippe J.P. ba ou tan l'argent? Hein? Mais ou ka still dit, ou ka admit a let TV ek radio, that although you te ba ou $20, ouvre invoice pour plus payer $20. And I tell you folks, this speaks volumes. This speaks volumes, or they say it speaks voluminously as to the kind of pervasive corruption that the last government was characterized by, you know. And had it not been the innocent people whose names they may not want to see on TV as receiving benefit from the government, I would have put, well, I've shown the 2 letters already. I've shown the 2 letters. I have the 2 letters. And I have all his invoices. I have all his invoices. And I have all the stubs where the payment will be. I have them as well. You know. Bradley also went on to say that the Prime Minister allocates $100,000 to him per quarter. You should even be ashamed to say that, Bradley. You should be ashamed to say that. Because now you believe you take Philip J. Pierre for granted because he's a good man. You take him for granted and basically you vent in a sense of entitlement.
It's a drop in the bucket.
That's what he said. That's what he said. But it's a drop in the bucket. But the thing is,
there was no bucket
in the first place, and there was not even an eye drop. If you, in fact, you are receiving $100,000 a quarter, and I want you all to hear this well, folks. A year has 4 quarters. A quarter is 3 months. We have been in office for 3 years. July was 3 years. And then July, August, September, October. Let us just say we have been in office for 14 quarters. We are in the 15th. So you would have received the 15th quarter as well. If for every quarter you receive 100,000, it means for 15 quarters you have received 100,000 15 times, which is $1.5 million. Okay? 1.5 million. Now,
that's not enough to buy a bag of cement for Sean.
Oh, Sean, you buy a pas même sac ciment qui pète. Now, I know Chasney gets more than you. Okay? But under CDP alone, you get 1.5 million. Under housing, you get 175,000, although 160 was allocated to you. So you, Bradley, have received from the coffers of government almost $3.7 million. Almost, sorry, 1.7. $25,000 short of 1.7. Chasney gets more than you. So easily between the two of you all, Philip Joseph Pierre has allocated in excess of $3.5 million to the two of you. Les 7 lycéens, la ten 6 maman opposition, pour un 5 l'année, pas même au sac ciment, chasse de bail pièce nom là. Aïe! Philippe J. Pierre, gardez l'autre bagaille là. Philippe J. Pierre, on the contrary, demam, il a bayo plus passé 3,5 millions pour aider constituency. Qui moun qui sont premier premier ministre? Qui moun qui a catché les about moun cette ici, même si on pas te voté bali? You know? And you all want to talk rubbish?
No Belrose doctrine there.
No Belrose doctrine. Belrose said it, if you did not follow the philosophy of the United Workers' Party, then you're not entitled under them. Yes. You know? And that is why I say, that is why I've always said, and I will continue to see, that Philip Joseph Pierre will go down in history as a more compassionate, a more conscious, a more benevolent, and a more caring Prime Minister anytime, any day than Alan Michael Shaftney, who only cared about his friends and families and not the poor people of this country.
Richard, let me ask you a question.
Yes, Albert.
Alan Shaftney having been the person, right, who perpetrated this crime against the country, that the 6 parliamentarians,
the 6 opposition
parliamentarians would not receive a penny to do anything within the constitution.
As long as he's Prime Minister.
As long as he's Prime Minister. He now, being up in opposition, and this is the stupid question, he accept the...
No, he accepted that.
Yeah, to accept money from this benevolent Prime Minister.
A man you never helped for over 5 years.
Because for me, Richard, if I am moneyed and you pass by my home, Mr. Frederick, I'm hungry,
yes.
Right? If calamity reaches my doorstep and I no longer have money and things have gone well with you now, right? And I'm passing by your door and you're there with food and everything.
Mama do because when but those guys have no shame. And you know,
but for me, Richard, let me give Bradley a little touch. You know, I have always, given Bradley a little pat on the back. Okay? Let me give him a little touch up. Bradley, whilst you were there with Alan Shaftney, right? Surely your conscience will tell you what this man is doing is wrong. Unless you all were, and the thing is, Brad, you cannot, Bradley, in all good conscience, be with a leader that you cannot speak to, that you can't say, look, I'm not happy with this.
I don't subscribe to this.
I do not subscribe to this. And the thing is, not subscribing to what Alan Shaftney was doing, Bradley, would be completely right, It would be the righteous thing for you to have done. You stayed with him for in excess of 5 years, not once saying, boss, this thing you're doing there, that's not right, these people, these fellas there are not representing themselves, and all of them okay, right? All of them can eat. But it is the people that they represent.
That's correct.
Boss, that's not right. It's not right. You didn't once say that, Bradley. And today you are happy to talk about what you get and talking about it's a drop in the bucket, right? Back in the day with the other 6 parliamentarians who were on opposition, they didn't have a bucket. They didn't have a bucket for them to be a drop in.
There would have been the Belrose Doctrine.
So, I don't know.
And folks, despite not being anything close to Philip JPA, Shaftney is trying extremely hard to the point of total desperation. Despite all his egregious deeds, and even associating with criminals to bring St. Lucia down. Associating with criminals.
Yes.
In 2018, Shaftney granted citizenship to a Chinese. And that Chinese was involved in money laundering.
I would like you to emphasize something that we missed. He's associating with criminals, yes, but with criminal intent.
Yeah, to bring down St. Lucia.
Yes. Because what this matter is...
Extortion. No, we'll come to that.
Exactly.
Extortion.
With criminal intent.
We'll come to that. We'll come to it, Albert. Associating with criminals to bring down St. Lucia. Folks, this is a man, take a listen to this story. This is a man that Shaftney had granted citizenship to, basically involved in money laundering. And recently, this government, through the minister in charge of the citizenship program, withdrew his St. Lucian passport. Take a listen to this.
Tourism Minister and Minister responsible for the CIP program, Honorable Ernest Hilaire, recently announced the revocation of citizenship for a particular individual under the Citizenship by Investment program. Hilaire provided details regarding the situation, stating that the revocation was due to the individual committing an act that could bring disrepute to the country.
It's covered in the media that he was charged for being involved in a money laundering ring. So for us, once we received a formal notification of the fact that he had been charged and sentenced, and that there was no appeal in process, we decided to act.
Hilaire revealed that the individual had been granted citizenship in 2018 under the previous administration.
He was a citizen of St. Lucia. He would have gone through the process, I still have to establish the due diligence firm that processed him. But yes, he did go through the process, and we don't refund because the law says anybody who acts in a manner, and it states the conditions, we have a right to revoke, and there is no refund that's given to the individual.
Since assuming his role as minister of the program, Hilaire noted that this is the only citizenship he has revoked. He emphasized that there are individuals who behave in ways that are unbecoming and detrimental to St. Lucia, which can lead to the revocation of citizenship. However, he clarified that citizenship cannot be revoked from naturally born St. Lucians.
So if a St. Lucian commits a crime overseas, you can't revoke his citizenship because he has no other citizenship. But certainly under the CIP legislation, you can revoke a St. Lucian citizenship because it's an acquired citizenship.
It is widely recognized that the Caribbean CIP can be exploited by money launderers, criminals, foreign spies, and individuals seeking a fresh start under false identities. The government of St. Lucia is committed to taking all necessary actions to prevent such individuals from obtaining citizenship, thereby safeguarding the social and economic integrity of the country. Chloe Dantes, MBC Prime.
Black boy. Oh, sound is there. So Alec, good night to you again, Mike Henry. But Felba just said no sound. They are telling me no sound. If you're hearing now, let me know, folks. And yeah, Peter Rennie over in thing said no sound. We have sound now? It's back on, folks? Okay,
Yes,
John
back.
Peters, Rossicao said it's back. All right. Okay, Peter Rennie said it's back. Yes, folks. And this is what we have. And this is the man who, Aaron, good night to you. Good night. So, you were not giving them anything. Look, Xavier Bosway. You were not giving them anything. Philippe J. And you know, folks, like I said, all kind of criminals are coming through. We revoke one citizenship. I don't know, it is lucidly clear, it can't get clearer than that the last administration was in bed with criminals. That one citizenship was revoked. Remember Jack Lam, Albert?
Yeah, yes. He was on the LAM.
He was a LAM.
He was on the LAM, LAM.
LAM, yes.
And he was caught.
He was caught.
Yes.
By Interpol.
Yes.
And
having been introduced here in St. Lucia.
By Chasney. At Sandals.
Yes.
As Theo King's partner.
Gosso Salonyan.
You know. Oh, and this is Jack Lam, and his reputation precedes him,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. All the time, the man is wanted by Interpol.
Yes.
He's now in prison. He's now in prison. You know. Then Shine, the man associated with Shine. Another convicted felon, 10 years. And not too long after he associated with Shine, they fire Shine as leader of the opposition in Belize. Are you aware of that?
A fellow named Guy Joseph said he's not talking to criminals in relation to.
But they had Shine.
He had Shine
as they get speaker.
Yes, and he was also talking to, what's the other fella's name? Martin. Carry on.
Malpinez. We're going on. You know, and they fired Shine just like the people fire Shasti. Then you have Rijok, another convicted money launderer, who wrote so much about Shastney. Now Shastney finds nothing wrong. He finds nothing wrong with associating with that very criminal with the intention of bringing St. Lucia down so that he can be called to the rescue, you know. Now he's their best friend. Then you have Malpines, another convicted fraudster who is trying desperately to extract money from Caribbean governments. You know, folks, I have two pieces to play on Martinez. The first one was where he openly admitted that he wants $9 million. And then the Flubos had it, oh, Philip JP have to pay $9 million. Yes, $9 million.
Something rejoice over.
They were rejoicing over the man's Malpines attempt to extort $9 million from us. Let me remind them of it. Play that clip for me, please.
Why am I doing a RICO case? I'm doing that for monetary reason and of course to make money. I'm looking to remove those two people, $9 million US, okay? I want to be compensated, that's why we filed the RICO lawsuit. We were relying on our citizenship to recoup our investment and of course to make money. I'm doing that for monetary reason and of course to make money. I'm doing that for monetary reason and of course to make money.
So here it is, folks. He asked for $9 million from us. Yasmin still, we should have given to him, hey, Yazi, I understood, Nusenkwa, you had surgery in your eyes. Nusenkwa, you have to see, because you have to see that ballot paper. But I hope you get well soon, Nusenkwa. Yazi still, good night. $9 million. And the Flubos had it, oh, Philip JP have to pay $9 million. Well, folks, hear this, sir. It appears we got off the hook lightly because in the very RICO lawsuit, he asked the Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis between 40 and 100 million US to make the case go away. Between 40, and you will hear it from the Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis himself. He had a press conference yesterday. And he disclosed that. Folks, this thing is getting more interesting, you know. And they were telling you about bombshell. Let me tell you, that's the only bomb that don't have a shell. That is the only bomb that don't. Take a listen to Martinez's attempt to extort between 40 and 100 million dollars from the government of St. Kitts Nevis. Listen.
You know who Mr. Martinez is? Timothy Harris brought his fraudster into our CBI. One of the persons in the videos that he have, and I want you to listen to this, approached the government. And one of the things that was said to me and to the government was if we wanted this to go away, we need to pay 40 to 100 million US dollars in my office. When we met Mr. Martinez, when we got into office, he was already part of the CBI program. Mr. Martinez, with MSR, was admitted to the program in May of 2022. You'll be fully aware that I was not the Prime Minister at that particular time. It was another Prime Minister who admitted Mr. Martinez into our CBI program. What we did not know, we thought there's a process that anybody who is admitted into the CBI program, they have to go through a due diligence process. I would have thought, as everybody would have thought, that Mr. Martinez, the MSR gentleman, would have gone through that process as well. And so he was part of the program, and I related to everybody who were part of the program. However, we have a process where we will also do other types of due diligence. And so when we do our other due diligence, we discovered a checkered pass for the MSR gentleman. A checkered pass that showed from our information that he was convicted for fraud. And I want to read it to you because it's critically important. Because it goes to the crux of the matter of what I would discuss and some of these things. Mr. Martinez is a French film producer, director, screenwriter, and actor with a career that spans some decades. And it goes through his biography. And in that, we have it here, that Mr. Martinez was convicted of fraud. And I want to stress that. He was convicted of fraud in a landmark case where he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. According to our report, he stayed a number of those years in the United States of America and then went to Europe where he spent 6 years in jail. Mr. Barrett, I would ask you, and you would know, that based on our standards in St. Kitts and Nevis, if a man or woman commits any type of offense, fraud, which is significant, he or she is barred from certain jobs. And in our CBI program, when this is discovered, this is grounds to take serious action. So the question becomes, and it's perplexing, how is it the Harris administration did not know that? Why was our country exposed is the question that we had to ask. And so after I better understood, and we understood, we distanced ourselves from him because of this past. And I will never risk the integrity of our country or the PM's office or the CBI program with such a character. It's a serious matter. The MSR gentleman has made repeated statements in various media, including on programming that he himself produced, which are misleading at best and in some instances flatly untrue. We're dealing with somebody who is convicted of fraud and spent jail time for fraud, who should not be in our program in the first place. Subsequently, in dealing with him, and I will go on, the gentleman is faced with strong defenses and motions of his various claims. Because of these things, in our estimation, he has become desperate. Subsequently, one of the persons in the videos that he had, and I want you to listen to this, approached the government. And one of the things that was said to me and to the government was if we wanted this to go away, we need to pay 40 to 100 million US dollars in my office. How can a man enter in my office saying to me that I have to take 40 to 100 million dollars out of the government's treasury to settle this case that a fraudster has brought forward, who should not have been in the first place? That is why I ask, have this been researched? Have the media done its job? This is who he is. And therefore, the question is perplexing. How did he get into the program under Timothy Harris? How did he get in the program in May 2022? 40 million US dollars, 40 to 100 million US dollars from the Treasury to settle this. Settle what? The government is not in any case anywhere. That's the people's money. 40 million US dollars is 10% of the budget, roughly. Well, I'll say maybe 50%. I mean 5% rather. And because 100 million, well, if you go to EC, 100 million EC, roughly. So that's about 10% of the budget. If you go to 100 million US dollars, that is approaching a quarter of our annual budget. So I said, how can you show up and say that if we want this to go away, we have to come up with 40 to 100 million US dollars? I'll go on, Mr. Bad. This gentleman has paid surrogates within the media, podcasts, all over. He does not care about the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. As is obvious, he cares about himself and what he perceives he can get. Because the question becomes, if you care about St. Kitts and Nevis, why are you attempting to extort tens of millions of US dollars from the people of St. Kitts and Nevis through the Treasury? Why is the question? And so, I'm answering your question in there. The only concern is to line their own pockets at the expense of you, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I will not allow that. Because I am not in any corruption. Any suggestion by my administration is blind or even insensitive to past issues with the CBI program is blatantly false. I will say that. But this is a question. Timothy Harris brought this fraudster into our CBI. But it will be my administration, Mr. Bad, that properly deals with him in accordance with our laws.
Bernie Samede, Joseph, I see all of you all there. Mahani Oji and all the others. Jennifer Edward.
Yes, Richard. I'd like to say good night to my auntie Pris. She tells me she stays up watching. You know, good night, auntie. Good night. Tika Augustine in Brooklyn, my cousin. Right, I had Bernice here, but Bernice, it's okay. Good night, Bernice. Kennedy Burke. Now, Doris in Denry, I would like to express our condolences with you. We understand you lost your son. Our condolences. Now, Richard, back to Mr. Mars.
Yes.
Richard.
So, wait. Albert, in the first place, this is definitely an intention to extort money from the government.
Nothing less.
Mate should have been arrested in St. Kitts.
In St. Kitts, they should have arrested him.
They should have, from the time he has some money and his own St. Kitts soil, arrest him.
Arrest him.
I wish he comes here.
You know, arrest him.
I wish he said he was going to come here. That is extortion.
He said he was coming for you, you know.
Really?
Yes, he said he was coming for you.
In November? Which November?
Next year.
If Martinez comes here, there is every reason to arrest him for extortion.
Of course, arrest him for extortion.
Of course. Now, I'll tell you this. St. Kitts Nevis, and I'm going to call up the Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis, I'll call up Drew, because they have every reason now to remove him
from the program.
Because
how did he come into the program anyway?
In the first place, as a convicted fraudster.
He's a convicted fraudster. Is brought into that program. There must be safeguards, Richard. There must be safeguards, and they must be right there in the due diligence. That if as a criminal, a convicted criminal, you cannot become a citizen, you're going to tell me that this convicted
you can sell
fraudster
citizenship.
Can sell citizenship? No, come on now. Come on. There is malfeasance involved in this.
There is something under the table.
There is malfeasance involved. Right? For this man, this criminal, from wherever, to come to St. Kitts, right? He goes to St. Kitts, and he's brought into the CBI, the Citizen by Investment, right?
Yeah.
Right? He's brought into that as a convict. He's brought in as an agent.
Let me tell you this. Now you know the whole RICO case is on the basis that he's an agent.
Yes.
Once his agency is withdrawn, and the court declares it void ab initio, and void ab initio means it is nullified from the inception. He has no RICO case again.
Remove him, take him to court in St. Kitts. That's what they have to do, you know.
Arrest him, charge him for extortion.
No, if holding extortion still, take him to court in St. Kitts, right? As an agent that ought not to have been. right? Based on the fact that he is a convicted fraudster. Take him to your courts.
And let the court deem him basically the contract to have employed him as an agent is void ab initio. It was void from the inception. So everything that all his RICO's lawsuits
just drops flat. As a matter of fact, we might even at that point.
Gassa, you know, we need money for free legal advice.
That's okay. We just doing that for our people.
Yes,
that's fine. That's fine. You know, and this fraudster. I'm doing it for the money.
The money.
It is for monetary reasons.
You know, all
the penguin in Batman.
All St. Kitts now has to do is to basically wipe it off the agency list.
Yes.
And he would not have a locus standi now to bring any RICO lawsuit against anybody to attempt to extort money from anybody. I'm going to call Timothy Harris. I promise I will.
Take me to court in St. Kitts.
And arrest him for extortion.
Take him into court. The first thing to do, leave the extortion still. We can arrest him for the extortion. But take him to court in St. Kitts, right? And get that thing nullified.
Once his agency is nullified, because the basis of the RICO lawsuit is that he's an agent and he's losing money.
Yeah, exactly.
But he'll not say he's losing money because nobody wants to buy from him.
warrant of arrest for it.
You know? I'm telling you.
You come in and extort, and you come in direct, you're some bad wolf. And the man said, he said he coming for you, Richard.
I never heard that.
You didn't know the man said, he's coming for you.
When?
November it was supposed to be.
It's coming. But hurry up. Hurry up, Batty. Let's come to St. Lucia. They call you bad man. Come.
Damn
Vinny.
fraudster.
And some of them flabos talking about give Martinez St. Lucia City. He just said, you know.
Give him sense.
I remember things saying that I'm Jan Gustav.
But Jan Gustav said it?
He said it on social media.
But Champagne said it. Right? The man is
fraudster.
A hero.
A hero.
Right? But it's a bit
but it just tells you.
Champagne saying that is bad. But Jan Gustav, a policeman, saying that.
Give him man citizenship.
Come on.
You know, excuse me.
A fraudster.
A fraudster was been to prison in 2 continents.
And who is now attempting to
extort money from the government. Not only your government, from the governments of the Eastern Caribbean. Yes. On the basis that he's an agent, an agency which you should never have been given.
And Richard, and the other thing is this, right?
Boy.
Even if this case had gone to its conclusion, I don't see how this man could have won that in any event.
Right? Boy, Martinez, you coming for me? Oh, I never heard that. In which November? Remember you had a lot of bombs to drop, bomb there and bomb there and bomb there and bomb there.
But the other sad thing though, is because Drew mentioned the question of people in the media.
Yes, he said
having been co-opted into this thing. Right?
You know,
and I have to say I'm saddened to see, because for me, Richard, I watched Lisa's development in the media. I'm old enough to have watched her development.
Yeah, she developed so well, and now
she
she's
did
just
so
plummeting,
well, you know?
plummeting right back down.
Yes.
Right back down.
She seems to have an obsession, right? She's fixated. Even when Martinez came there and talked his foolishness about, I will remove this one, I'll remove that one, as if anybody really cares about whether you put or remove. You know, who cares? But she's the, what about Dr. Ernest Hilaire? Come on, listen, behave yourself and be good to yourself.
And the thing is, Albert, whatever gave him the right to file the lawsuit was obtained in a manner that a court can make a pronouncement that his agency was void from the inception.
Exactly.
So he has no locus standi.
No locus standi whatsoever. You know?
No locus standi. The man cannot stand up. Boy, let me...
I mean, look, the Prime Minister of
they should arrest St. Kitts.
He said, look, he ain't involved in no corruption. Right? Now, sometimes when I say I ain't involved in no corruption, I might be saying this person is involved. I don't know. But how could he possibly have become an agent?
I don't know. Unless something passed.
Something is untoward.
You know? Nonsense. Crap. Coming from...
And now you come in and try to threaten people here, threaten people there, and extort here and extort there.
But it's a madman.
Yeah.
Come.
We have jail for you, you know.
We have a jailer, you know. Come.
And it's much better. It's much better than what you're accustomed to. You know, we have viewed, we have vent.
Come. You coming for me? All I speak about is the defense of my country. And you cannot stop me from speaking about the defense of my country.
And look at these people who are associating with this man as if he's some...
Criminals alone. Criminals alone. I speak to the defense of my country. You ask us 9 million. You are St. Kitts Nevis between 40 and 100 million. And you only got that right because you are a citizen, because you are an agent of St. Kitts Nevis, which you should have never been.
Never.
All the court has to do is to withdraw your agency.
And that's simple enough.
Simple. And I'm Terence Drew. I will call the Prime Minister, go through the legal process to withdraw. Just withdraw your agency. You have no case against nobody. Full stop. You know?
It can be shown very easily that you are a convicted criminal.
You know? Anything you want to know about me, ask me. I know my factual life. You may know my propaganda life. But my factual life is devoid of criminality. No criminal transgressions. None. I defend St. Lucia.
No, that is the thing, Richard.
I defend my country.
I have one passport, you know.
I defend my country.
I have only one passport. Okay, it's a St. Lucian passport.
Me too. Well, I have two, but both are St. Lucians.
Both are St. Lucian. Right? So, in other words, if they deport you from there, where are you going? In the sea?
No, I'm going and meet Martinez. You come in for me. And then you last
so we have to protect your jealousy.
Here. Come. Believe I let St. Lucia go to the dogs with you. No way. I will defend this country.
We have to defend and guard her jealously.
Of daughters of St. Lucia
must
love the land that
gave us birth and protect it.
St. Lucia has made me who I am. Right. I will not come and permit extortioners like you. I need $9 million to take out this one.
Not like people who are born here. You know. Born
of us and come here.
And then are products of another
country.
Yeah, so these people, those people would associate with you to destroy St. Lucia. Not us. We're guarding it, we're protecting it. Vinicia, listen, you say you're coming for it. Come, Martinez, we're waiting for you.
I'm waiting. You know, folks, and it keeps getting worse for Shasty. Because I am in possession of not Harris. I'm going to call Andre Rivers. I'm going to call Terence Drew. You know, should have been arrested for extortion and
attempted extortion. Yes,
attempted extortion, and I believe you need to initiate legal proceedings to nullify its agency and let the court declare it void ab initio, which means the whole thing is avoided. It's of no effect from the day it started.
It was born in wrongdoing.
It was born in wrongdoing, and therefore all RICO cases will finish, finito. That's what has to be done. And I was saying, folks, I am in possession of an agreement that Shasta himself signed with Galaxy. And just like Shasta did with the airport, you know, with the airport and with Galaxy, in both of those instances, Shasta signs for an unknown amount, saying that the final cost will be determined. You know, with bills of quantities to be provided. Who does that? Which astute, which prudent, which caring Prime Minister or Minister of Finance that has the responsibility of guarding the coffers of this country would sign an agreement or agreements saying that I'm signing, but you will tell me how much it costs down the road?
The same one who signed the
Only Shasta could do that. So you sign the airport agreement, same way, no bills of quantity. You signed with Galaxy saying it will cost between 250 to 300 million. with the final bills of quantities to be provided by the developer. And you want to talk that kind of nonsense, that kind of BS, you know? And that's the same man. Folks, écoutez ça bien. You signed for Galaxy, you don't know the amount. You signed for the airport, you don't know the amount. But because we are building the Hall of Justice, all of a sudden, although you have no plans, you know how much it will cost. Oh, je m'étonne ça. Ou ka siye by Galaxy, ou pa av kome ka ikuti. Ou ka siye pou airport la, ou pa av kome ka ikuti. But because ou vle bay gouvernement me pou commencer Hall of Justice la, ou ka di kos, although ou pan pièce plan c'est un tetou yon ki ye, ma même sav sa ki di de tetou, si flow ma sav. Mi mwen suspect if flow. Okay? You have no approved plans. You signed 2 projects without bills of quantities, but you know how much your Hall of Justice would cost. And it didn't cost less than half of that. You know, can you believe it, man?
Well, this man just speaks in the moment. He just speaks in the moment.
Can you
Whatever he
believe
thinks
it?
you want to hear, he'll say it.
But Albert, that's the same man that signed for Galaxy. I have the agreement that said the final bills of quantity will be provided by the developer. I have the agreement for the airport where there is no bills of quantity.
So basically, do first
just way below. But yet, and those have plans already, and you sign off on them. But the Hall of Justice and the police headquarters you building, you don't have no plans yet. But you know it will cost half of what? But yeah. You know, folks, you know, honestly, who does those kind of things? Who does that? You know? Who does that? And I'm telling you, if, God forbid, Chasney is permitted to run the finances of this country again, St. Lucia must go broke. We must. So Chasney, I'm asking you, for the sake of this country, get out of our politics, man. Just alley. You know? Now, what is even worse? Your chairman, Prudent, is asking for gogos. He wants gogos who will toe the line. You know, gogos. Prudent, I want to say this to you. You have no future in politics. None. And that's as clear as daylight. You're in Flabo. I was there. Okay, you remember when you wanted to be ambassador to the UN? And Sir John said you are not cut from the cloth, from the ambassadorial cloth. You remember that? And he did not make you ambassador. You left Flabo then. You formed the LPM. You went into labor. You applied for membership. They accepted you.
Was that 9 months later?
9 months later, yes. Then you wanted to be the candidate for Grosile. They tell you no way. You left MPM. You went back to you left SLP. You went back to UWP. Work your way to chairman.
He's done well, though.
You have done well, yes. You've done well. You're chairman.
Yeah, he's chairman.
You know. And now, because you figure you want to get close to the decision maker, you are talking all that crap. Rather than asking for candidates who will work for the people, who will deliver on the campaign promises that they made, who will work for the people who elected them. You want people who will take Shastney's BS. Prudent, are you a madman?
People would have fealty to country.
You know, but no affinity to Shastney.
Shastney.
Do you listen to yourself? So that means any Tebebe that will do what Shastney wants will be selected as a candidate.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yes.
But somebody who genuinely wants to serve and has the interest of the people at heart, that person is not qualified because the person is not one of Shastney's stooges. Huh? Prudent, you didn't hear yourself. Let me remind you of what you said. But I want to warn you, in this piece, I don't swallow shit. I don't swallow shit.
Is that because
play that one for me, please.
Chairman, as your chairman, it's my duty to inform you of what is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't want, and I want you to take me serious, we don't want to saddle Alan Shastney with no one that don't want to work with Alan Shastney. Are you listening to me? So that's why it's of utmost importance that we give Alan Shastney the kind of candidates and the kind of representatives that he can work with.
Magie. Shit, this is pure shit. This is pure shit. And I'm not supporting it. I will never swallow shit for no man. No man can make me swallow shit. And it's I'm a global Buddhist chairman who parafa more travail. You're supposed to lead with principle. Why are you guys causing chaos? Why? Why are you guys organizing? What are you guys organizing meeting for? Why? Man, I hear some bullshit inside there. They're going to take the. I hear some bullshit inside there. They're not going to give the chairman the property. They're going to send it to Alan Shastney. But I hear some stupid thing, and I wonder, is that the party that I'm really behind? This is exactly a chuyo là. We are grown ass people. We're not kids, Gaza. It's not looking good, no? No, it's not looking good. I's a smart fella. I see things far. I's a very, very smart cookie. I don't want nobody to tell me how smart I am. I know. I will never swallow shit for no man. No man can make me swallow shit.
I just came down for a glass of water.
I go drink water and mind my business. I'm a smart cookie, eh?
Watch.
I don't swallow shit.
I go drink water.
I don't swallow shit. You know, and that is why, sadly, I remember when Shastney first won the leadership of Flabo, you were going to people and asking people to submit. All of you must totally submit
to me.
And now Prudent is echoing those same semantics, albeit differently. You know? That's why you all are attracting all kind of stupid candidates. You all are attracting people that don't have a chance in hell to win. Now look at that, folks. When you tell me 14 days before an election, exactly 2 weeks before an election was on July 26, 2021. On the 12th of July 2021, Cabinet of Guy Joseph and Shastney will approve a list of beneficiaries for government land. Show me the first thing, just bearing the conclusion number. The first page. Good. Look at this, folks. Cabinet conclusion 636 of 2021. Date 12 July 2021. I want you all to see it. 12 July 2021. Show me the next page. Show me the next page. Not that one. There's another page. Take out that page. Take out that one. There's another page showing the what it is for. There were 3. That is it. I don't know what's wrong with Black Boy sometimes, honestly. And I'm asking him, I'm telling him it's not that one he was living in there. Request for approval of beneficiaries of the rationalization of Crown property. You're hearing me, Albert? Crown property, and it gives block and parcel numbers. Cabinet considered a memo dated 28th June 2021, submitted by the Department and approved the list of beneficiaries for the rationalization of dot block and parcel number situated at Bel Air, whatever. So Cabinet approved a list of beneficiaries and then put the one you had now. Good. What is the fourth name you all see there? What is the fourth name there, Albert? Albert, what name you see there?
It seems to be Rush Clark.
It seems to be Rush Clark. Live in there a while. So, folks, here it is. 14 days before elections, Cabinet decide they are taking crown property, government property, to give to certain people. So they're giving everybody a piece of land.
Would these people not have been in occupation already, no?
Russian occupying anything? No, definitely not.
The principle of it, no?
No. And so, Rush Clark, his name is there. Rush Clark is the one who's slated to come up against me in Castries Central. So he doesn't own a teaspoon of land. 14 days before election, they try something for him. So absolutely no doubt, folks, had the United Workers' Party won the election, Rush Clark is one of those that would get a piece of crown land for free.
Wow.
You see? For free. Flabo lost the elections. He now jumps in as a candidate. They did not have time to give it to him. So what do you expect if the near impossible happens and he is elected? What do you think would be the first order of business? To take the piece of land government had given me by way of that cabinet conclusion. You can put it down now. So you see, folks, Miguel Fevrier said, "No rush to judgment, Richard." I like that. So that is what is happening. 2 weeks before an election, but Rush knew they would have lost because he went and he gave Joachim an envelope with a couple dollars in it, saying that he wants to keep his job. So he knows how to operate. He wants to keep his job, but he made Guy and them make sure that there is a cabinet conclusion enlisting him as a beneficiary to government land. So when you hear they talk about all brouhaha, oh, our health care and our this and there is crime, you understand what is going on. There is a lot of crises because they want landies.
I was not even aware that that was something that cabinet did.
But I don't know since when cabinet did that. I've never seen cabinet do anything like that and actually list names. Since when cabinet lists names and say you get in, you not get in? That is purely political. You know? Purely political. So Flabos know exactly what they are doing. 2 weeks before an election, y'all are having a conclusion and naming persons as beneficiaries because election is you can tell them your name is there, vote for me. That didn't save Guy. It didn't save him. You know. But Rush's name is there. And it tells you what the intention of those guys are. So Pante, gouvernement dit si yo te ame non les papiers a, ou te gagne chote pour rien. Mais yo perd l'élection, so actuellement ka fouiller comment dit dans l'élection pour try hunter you te promet.
Let me go and do it myself.
You know? And then those guys, those are the ones who want to come saying that they are coming to help the poor people of this country. Excuse me? Which poor people are you coming to help? That is why under Flabo in 2017 has been our most corrupt year on record. Most corrupt year on record. But Flabo, you have to stay in the wilderness for a few more terms. Albert, over to you. What do you think of that?
Richard, I think it's a bad start, really. That it is shown already that you're coming in to fill your boots, you know. And as you say, in 2017, it was just absolute rampant corruption.
Rampant.
Rampant.
And guess what, Albert?
Unbridled.
Guess what? They interviewed Rush the other day. Both the and what's the other one name? Chico. Guess which ministry they want? Housing. Rush want to rush to have a house. So he want Ministry of Housing.
Okay.
But you know, he never realized that I'll fuye, and I will get all those conclusions that pertain to what the intentions are.
If you talk to what's the fellow from Forest? Yeah, infrastructure. It wasn't the shifting to what, economic development, and they put all the infrastructure on there.
Yeah, all the infrastructure. And he was in charge of housing as well. Yes.
You know. So they need to talk to him about exactly how to go about the corruption. How to go about doing it.
No, but it just speaks volumes, Albert. You're not in politics. 2 weeks before an election, you are listed as a beneficiary to acquire government land for free. Huh? I mean, excuse me. Anyway, Senator Alison Jean, pull up that thing for me. Huh? I understood that you all were awarded $98 million. Jury awards $98 million to family of Dallas man shot in his home by ex-police officer. And that happened only yesterday. They were awarded, relatives of both of them were awarded nearly $100 million in damages after a jury found Amber Guyber used excessive force in Jean's 2018 killing.
I don't like the headline.
Why?
It says shot in his home by ex-police officer.
But she's no longer a police officer.
She's no longer a police officer now, but she didn't shoot him now. At the time she shot him, she was a police officer.
Yes. And it says that she has to pay that, and she used excessive force in the fatal shooting of Bofelja in his home 6 years ago. You know, I am hoping, yes, we don't have to read everything, but yeah, folks, that can bring a bit of reprieve to Alison and her husband if they are able to secure the monies, because I know the state will say that she was on a frolic of her own, but I don't know. I would pursue that from every angle, especially the firearm used.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a personal firearm or if it's government issued.
Yeah, they will try everything, Richard. But if you all are going to disavow her, right, she should not have had the firearm in her possession.
In the first place.
Yes. Because if you're going to say she was off duty, right, then how is it that she has the issue? Government issue firearm, state issued firearm.
Because if she's off duty and she had the firearm, or the police officers, that means they might have to take a different approach, especially when it comes to vicarious liability, Albert. Because what you find is, if the firearm would be the weapon of choice, obviously for most police officers in defense of themselves, I'm not saying that one is, certainly it wasn't, then you are providing them with the avenue to take lives.
Yes.
And so the provision of that avenue would come with some kind of responsibility.
If you want to wash your hands of it,
yes,
it means that when she's going off duty, you understand? But if she's permitted to go with it, right, that means that government issued firearm is now in her care and custody. And
it provided the avenue to kill the third party.
Yes. So you have provided her with it. It's in her care and custody. So how it is now you're washing your hands of it?
Albert, we'll take 5 calls.
Yes, indeed. That'll take us to midnight.
I think we have, almost 2.5 hours of non-stop talking. We'll take 5 calls, 453-911. Let's hope Black Boy is not sleeping or fall asleep on you guys. They can say, and as well the defense used that she was tired after a very long shift. The liability can belong to the state who are working under strenuous circumstances. I quite agree with you. Ria Cruz says, I hope he doesn't rush when he's doing nothing. Ria Cruz, you something else, eh? Bernice, when you meet Ria Cruz, Bernard Haynes, how are you? Debbie Pero, good night to you. Canis Felix, Dudu Darling, Myro, Arthur Charles. Arthur Charles asked me, where is Big Daddy? Just so other, you're too troublesome, all right? A.G. Antoine, I'm confident that my government will remain in office labor strong. We will, I can assure you that. We have a caller? Yes, good night. Can I help you? Killers. All right.
Enoch Lewis, Enoch Martin, sorry. Good night. Yeah, Thea.
So, Finny.
We waiting for
all right, we have another call. Good night, can I help you? Timothy, I hope you heard what the guy said. You ask him not to call. I will never hang up on anybody who calls my show. Good night, can I help you?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I wonder if Chapman was the Prime Minister. If Martinez would have asked him that money, he could have given it to him by now. Because
that's a very interesting
that man,
question.
Chapman, would give everybody, if he could give Tiwakim all that money, I know Martinez would got that money long time.
That is a very interesting question. Caller, you have asked,
He paid no bones at our money just to give it away. When it's for our benefit, he cannot do nothing for us. But when it is for foreigners, the moment they ask, he just give it away. He finds it to give it to them.
That is a very, very interesting scenario. She's asking, had it been Shasta was Prime Minister, don't we think Shasta would have acceded to his request and given him the money?
I mean, she's right in one thing she said, because Richard, I can tell you.
Okay, caller, thank you much.
When this man was asked for
Anyway,
something concerning education.
Oh, you were saying anything else?
How to settle our business with Shasta, because we don't like St. Lucia.
Thank you.
And we don't like St. Lucians.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
You were saying?
Yeah, I think there's something to do with education. He was asked, some monies and where am I going to get the money?
Yeah.
The country's broke.
Exactly.
But the following week, he's giving money.
He's giving money. You remember when Yui came here with the hopes of establishing a university?
Yeah, right.
That would have had tremendous economic ramifications on our economy.
Yes.
The man ran up and the people went to Antigua.
Yeah, but isn't that the same time you were saying you all have too much education? What you all doing for all that education?
We have another caller. Good night. Can I help you?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
How is everyone? I see you, everyone looking well.
Yeah, we well. We well, thanks.
Yes, well, thanks. Yes, because now everything St. Lucian touch, it's turning into gold and silver.
Yes.
So now we are progressing.
Indeed.
And I want to send congratulations to the team that went, the culinary team that went to on that competition, and they come back with gold and silver and bronze.
Mm.
Do you did you hear the news?
Yes.
Yes. So, and then our beloved Julian Alfred are bring the gold and silver for us. So now everything we touch, it is turning into gold and silver. So that is showing
St. Lucia is on a high.
Yes, that is showing progress. So we have to be happy about that. Very, very happy about that. And I want to send a thank you to the Taiwanese government and his people and their people for helping us so much in St. Lucia. They are really helping us tremendously, and I give a raise of hat, to them. And those are the things we have to tell our people. And Mr. Sherry, Dr. Cherry, all those people that is trying to uplift our country. Those are the people we have to listen to.
That is correct.
We don't have to listen to people that try to bring us down, because if those people are for us, and a former head of government in a country will not leave your country and go out there and team up with somebody that wants to bring the country that you want the people to vote for, to bring the country down. Is the people you're bringing down, because all that million the man is asking for, it is something that will set us back from our development.
Of course.
For our children.
Of course.
So how can you tell me you for St. Lucia?
You
and you say you bring a conjunction case of court against the Labour government. It's not the Labour government you bring in court case against. You bring a court case against the people of St. Lucia.
That's correct.
The very same people you want to have their power. You want them to give you their power. Try to do, and the same people you are betraying and you're doing wickedly too.
Yes, ma'am.
Those people, I don't know how they're thinking. I don't know how they're thinking.
All right.
But as I'm always telling you, Mr. Richard.
Yes, I.
Keep on helping one another, lift up one another.
We do that.
And
lead not on our own understanding.
Right.
In every way acknowledge him, and he shall direct our path. Okay. Thank you, caller.
Have a blessed night, and keep on doing what you are doing, because everybody says, "Oh, Mr. Richard."
Yes.
When will the building by the market open? I see that as though it's almost complete.
Yeah, no. We just have to get the fishermen out of where it is. I'm currently building a new thing for them in the fisheries. Once I'm done with that, I move them from there, and then we can open.
Okay, and what about the hospital, St. Jude Hospital? I want the people to be in there.
No, that's
I don't want anything to happen like what that happened.
That's coming on stream very soon.
Right, because the last time it was already almost finished. People, they find people working there and they stop the work and then they
I tell you,
what is the audit report have never
caller. I tell you, St. Jude is their completion.
No, I am talking about the audit report.
For what?
The audit report, they spend $500,000 and they say they would.
It's not even $500,000 they spend on it. They spend $980,000 on it, $20,000 short of $1 million. But that's not.
And they have not read it for us.
No, the audit report, I can't find it if I want it. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Have a blessed night.
Somebody just sent me a message saying that Shasti say he had his family. So the person said, imagine 6'5" Shasti sleeping in bed with his wife and son and daughter who are both over 6 feet sleeping in one bed. But yeah, Shasti don't realize the kind of mockery he makes of himself. We have another call. We'll take 2 more calls, We have another one? Yeah, we have a caller. Good night, caller. Can I help you?
Hi, good night, Richard.
Let's go on. We don't want to waste too much time.
I know.
And we're not going at slow speed.
I want to rush this call. I just want to rush to say that had there been a Shasti Prime Minister, there would have been no rush to discover Martinez. Had there been a Shasti Prime Minister, there would have been no Martinez. Okay? But I find that man bold, that man brave, that man brazen. However, Martinez should be dealt with and shall be dealt with by that St. Kitts Prime Minister. Good night, Mr. Frederick. Good night, Richard.
Good.
We have no fear. Mr. Pierre is here.
All right. All right. Thank you, Cornelia. We'll take one final call. Had there been thing, there would have been no rush.
That's the final call, right? Because there's a caller who waits after the final call and calls.
No, that's the final call. Good night. Can I help you?
Yes, Richard and Frederick. Good night.
Good night.
I heard a news clip about the 2.5% health and security levy. Shasti should be ashamed of raising that. You remember the $7 million that was given to buy vaccines?
7.3.
7.3. And the money we had to pay to the Cayman Group, over 20-something million.
20-something million, because he was paying them over $1 million a month.
So that is almost $30 million.
Actually, let me see.
Even
Yes,
for
yes,
nothing,
you're right. Yes.
I can see that. Imagine we had $30 million into our health care all now, so how good it would be. Them fellas forgetting that they were
Yeah,
the government.
they forgetting quickly.
Conveniently.
But not that they forget, you know. They are hoping people will forget. And that is why it's incumbent upon people like me to keep reminding our people.
And that is it. Always keep ringing that bell in our minds.
Yes,
Because
yes.
$30 million can do a lot
Exactly.
for this country, you know.
That's good analysis. Because you are right. He took 7.3. He gave it to a guy who does business with brother-in-law, Rock and Cement, who had never procured not even a vaccine. And then you had Dr. King and them doing the move. He took the Cayman Group, contracted them for $25 million for 2 years. And that's, you said, almost 30. It's
30 million.
No, it's more. It's 32 point. Caller, it's $32.3 million.
$1 million. Imagine that in our healthcare.
You know. And today they are the same ones quarreling.
$52,000 in a hotel for 6 nights.
For 6 nights.
And you depriving the elderly, the people. When there was the elderly program where you had the people visiting the elderly and so on, you all stop that.
They stop a lot of things.
Spider come in and talk about almost everybody in their labor.
90%.
But at least the people they were taking care of were not labor, and only they were taking care of the elderly in St. Lucia. Imagine $52,000, how many people it could have paid
exactly
to take care of our elderly people.
Let's just say you paid each of them $1,200 a month. That's over 40 people.
You could do that.
You know, and for 6 nights in a hotel.
You know, come on, man. Them fellas should be ashamed. You take hot. You know, as like you always say, or Shonda say, you're sound.
You're sound. All right.
Have a good night.
All right. Just to inform you folks that somebody just sent me Jan Gustav's post. On August 1st, I believe Mr. Martinez should be granted a diplomatic passport and full citizenship by the government of St. Lucia. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? A convicted fraudster. A man who has been to prison in 2 continents. A man who is trying to extort money not only from St. Lucia but from the Eastern Caribbean countries. A police officer who ought to know better is saying give them a citizenship and a diplomatic passport. Nufini Albert.
Another one is saying that he's a hero, a local hero.
We have a call, black boy. We have a call. Oh, boy, black boy, put the phone off the hook. You mad, black boy, put the... Folks, I think we have had enough. Albert, anything else you want to wrap up saying?
Yeah, I think, Richard, as I say, it was good having you back.
Oh, thank you.
You know, the program had a lot more punch.
Yes.
I mean, I love Shelton's company, I have to tell you that. You know, from the time he was a little boy, I loved his company, even now. But when you're there, it's got more punch than, you know, when the two of us are there. And we both acknowledge that. So, good to have you back, Richard. It was a very good program as far as I'm concerned. We hit quite a bit.
Yes, indeed.
And let me just say good night.
Okay. Somebody, Peter the Great, West Indies 124 without loss in it. West Indies playing tonight?
I wasn't aware.
I wasn't aware West Indies playing tonight, Peter the Great. 124 without loss after 8 overs. Clinton, good night to you, my brother. Good night to everyone who has been on the live. I just want to see that next week, Thursday, God willing, I will be here. I will be here, but I will be arriving a little late. And so Albert and Shelton will be the ones doing the show, but the following Thursday, I will be back with a greater punch. As I've always said, if God has blessed you, no one can curse you. Live clean, because what you sow is what you reap. And St. Lucia is going to greater heights with no other than Philip Joseph Pierre as our leader. Good night.
watching MBC.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Looking for certified specialists in motor vehicle inspections and evaluations? Check us at K&M Garage, located in Massad, Grosile. We also specialize in motor vehicle damage assessment reports, bodywork, part replacement, and ordering of motor vehicle parts for all vehicles. For more information, call 452-6596, 716-1333, or 716-0767.
My name is Martina. I would like to say thank you to the guys from Paddy Access, especially Jermaine, for a job well done. I called him 2 days before my brother's funeral to do a live video, and I was not disappointed. He was professional and kept in touch with me throughout the live, just making sure I was satisfied with everything. I would definitely use Paddy Access again, and I highly recommend that anyone looking to do a live video to hire them. Everyone who watched my brother's funeral had good things to say about how much of a good job the videographer did. If you want satisfaction for your money, Paddy Access is the way to go.
It can take a long time, but we don't give up. We still continue until the evening.
Going through these thickets, I've got a shirt on. It's not a good shirt, but it's a bit tough. There's a lot of stuff that scratches you. Does it not bother you? Are you not getting scratched by the plants?
So for them it's okay, but he's asking you, do you have a lot of
scratch? Yeah, no, I'm good. I will not project weakness. If you guys go back with no meat, will the women